Well, hello, my little bottles of frankincense. How are you? Good, I hope. Because today I'm gonna give you some tips and tricks based upon, let's see, how to successfully participate in a mountain bike race. I was really into mountain biking. One of the first mountain bike races I ever did was the Valentine's Day Challenge. I don't know why I remember that. Actually, I do know why I remember that. It was extremely painful, and I thought, that's a really weird name for a race. Valentine's Day Challenge. There was so much mud. And yes, you guessed it, it landed somewhere in February. Well, what made this race so difficult was, first of all, back up a little bit. I was into cross-country mountain biking, so that's mountain biking on rolling hills that go like this, not downhill mountain biking, where you get to the top and you get to the bottom as fast as you can. That's crazy. That's crazy. No. Cross-country mountain biking is typically you don't have a lot of shocks on your bike because you're trying to have a really light bike. And then I had my ponderosa, my Novera ponderosa. That's a kind of bike made by REI. And it was a good experience, but a painful one. These trails were designed for motorcycles. So we're talking like chewed up and these ruts that sort of go through the middle of these trails, and your bike tire just kind of fits right in that rut. Not a very good race. I hope they've changed it since then. But sloshing through mud that went up to your hub on your bike, and your feet are encased and enveloped in this sticky substance, it was not very fun. And I did do quite a few mountain bike races, not nearly as much as my buddy Steven. He got so good that he actually got on a racing team. He was very good. He was very dedicated to this. But for me, it was just too expensive, because when you race, odds are something is going to break. It could be something as major as your derailleur, which is very expensive to replace. Or it could be, well, your brake pad is finally worn down. It just really adds up. Mountain biking, if you're racing, is not one of those sports that you just buy your equipment and you're good to go. It's an ongoing maintenance kind of thing. So I eventually phased out of it, but it was a wonderful experience, and a few tips and tricks to keep in mind. Well, start fast. And you may think, no duh, start fast, but really, start fast. Get ahead of the pack, because if you don't, it's not like running a cross-country race in high school where it's relatively easy to pass someone, unless you're on a really skinny trail. But at least here in the Pacific Northwest, a lot of the trails are single track. It's not like a big logging road in California or Lake Tahoe or something. So it's extremely difficult to pass people. So if you start fast, you make them have to pass you. I know that's a jerk thing to do, but hey, after all, it's a race. The point is you want to try to win. Let's see, another thing, if you're going to take gear along with you, let's say it's a really long race and you need to have some equipment to patch a tire when you're out in the middle of nowhere, because these things can go way the heck out there and then back again. You're like, great, I'm stranded 10 miles out in the middle of nowhere. I want to patch my tire. If you're going to have equipment with you, put it on your body. And some people may be like, oh, no duh, I'm gonna put the stuff on my body. But you won't believe how many people put all of their equipment on their bike. You want your bike to be as light as possible. So don't put the little bike bag under the seat or another water bottle mount and smash the water bottle full of equipment and energy bars and things like that. Just get a little bag or put it in your bike jersey and try to keep all the weight on your body, because your body can react with extra weight, and it's very, very difficult to try to ride your bike over something when you're weighing your bike down. Anyway, I hope that makes sense. Don't put the weight on the bike, put the weight on you. Another really awesome trick that took me a while to learn, and you don't have to be racing to employ this one, but if you are attempting to balance on something, let's say it's a log, and you want to ride across it, the best way to balance on it is to bring your eyesight towards the end of the line that you want to stay on. It's the weirdest thing ever. Try this at some point. Just find a line somewhere on the ground when you're riding your bike and bring your eyes up ahead towards the end of the line. And where your eyes are, that's where your body will follow. That's where your bike will go. And it's the craziest thing ever. And you're going along and you're like, okay, I'm not gonna take my eyes off of the end of this line. I'm gonna just keep pedaling, and miraculously, your bike will stay on. It won't fall off this log or this line unless you bring your eyes off. Yeah, not meaning to preach at you for a moment, but is that not an awesome metaphor for your faith? You know, you set your eyes on God and everything falls into place. Great metaphor, but anyway, I promised that I wouldn't get all preachy. So there you go. Those are a few tips and tricks on mountain biking and racing. It's a wonderful, fun sport. The people there have cowbells and they're screaming and they're yelling, and they're typically a pretty wacky bunch of people. Good food, good prizes. Oh, in case you're wondering, I did get, it was third place at one point when I was in Mammoth Lakes, California, when I worked there for a summer. And I just kind of saw this open mountain bike race, and I was like, sure, I'll apply for this. Mammoth Lakes, California, in case you don't know, is like one of the mountain biking meccas of the world. Mammoth Mountain is just an incredible place for mountain biking. And I got third place. It was so cool. I was kind of surprised. I kind of crossed the finish line like, did I miss a turn? Did I accidentally cut like everybody off? But there were a lot of people, and they didn't really have anything for third place. I think they felt kind of bad. So I didn't really want anything. I was just like, oh, this is a surprise. This is neat. So they gave me a baseball cat. Baseball cat. Incredible. I didn't know cats played baseball. Wow, one of those little Persian shortstops, you know? That's incredible. No, anyway, it was a Cannondale baseball cap. There we go. Cannondale bikes, pretty great bikes. But anyway, I could go on forever about bikes and mountain biking, but I will not. And instead, I will say good luck to you in your mountain bike competitions.